passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on, so Nuroff in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And it definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down it towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching. The Burger King machine's off into the grass a little bit there. Is that really bunching up now?
down. Does he have it? Medeiros is going to get it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such trouble. He's up on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back. We are back on Tuesday nights for the UkSimracers MX5 season. Well, I said season 2, but technically it's probably season 1. But I'll go into details in a minute of 2024. This is round 1 from Suzuka International Racing Circuit, of course, in Japan. 5.75 kilometers, iconic turns. We've got Spoon, we've got 130R, we've got Casio Triangle, and we've got more. There has been some changes which are pleasing us up here in the booth. Gone are the days of the multiple bonus points that they were giving out previously for everything. Now it is just a straight scoring system on iRacing. They now will get 50 points for the win in each heat, 45 for second, 41, 38, 36, 34, 32, 30, and all the way down the order from there. It's still a progressive score system. It's not a single score system for Pro and Ams. They will get a progressive score system all the way through. So wherever they finish, they will score points for that position. That is the first change. We've still got Pro and Ams. We've got 19 of them at the moment. There was 25 cars signed up ready to go for this season. So we will still have a Pro and Am mix. We will still have the Team Championship. We will still have the Pro and Am Championship as well. One of the things that is coming back as well will be the Prediction Cup. What does that entail, I hear you say? James, my dear, what is the Prediction Cup? It is where you try and beat me and my partner for this season, Mr. Alex Goldschmidt, up here in the booth. You will pick whoever you think is going to win in Heat 1, Heat 2, Heat 3 and Heat 4. Heat 1, the grid is set by quali. Heat 2 is a top 11 reverse. Heat 3 is a complete random reverse. And Heat 4, I will let you know a little bit later on once we change sessions after Heat 1 and Heat 2. This is the first of 3 seasons. This is their tri-championship. This can be deemed as the spring season before we go into summer, then we go into autumn, and then there will be an overall championship named at the end of these 3 seasons. They will also still have a seasonal champion, but what will happen is the main one will be at the end of the 3 seasons together, where the AM champion will be promoted to pro. Returning names this season, Craig Jones, the dead man himself, is back here once again. He has taken part in this season as well. The likes of Darryl McLean is here, Fiona Siddons is back, Darryl Wright's back, Martin Sampson, Darren Hunt, Miles Owens, all the regular names are back, but we've also got Daniel Dennison from the Aerokinetic team. He is here as well, taking part. Now, I've finished rambling on and catching you up to date with everything that's happened over the winter season as well. As I say, I'm James Parfitt. I've got Alex Goldschmidt alongside me. Let's have a quick chat with him now. Alex, welcome in, buddy.
SimRacers, yeah, really interesting at the end of the winter series at Muskogan a few weeks ago. But yeah, I mean, this is one of the original leagues that actually signed up with us here at JP Broadcasting, and to be honest with you, it's a lot of fun. We've got a hell of a track to go around that was opened back in 1962, the only one of 2 FIA recognised figure of 8 circuits, which also includes Fiorano. But yeah, they've got a bit of a tough test for the open round of this spring season. And I like the fact that there's going to be seasonal and an overall champion for 2024 at the same time.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely epic, as it always is here, Daniel, in YouTube chat. Craig Jones is going to kill it. Oh, wait. there as well. Absolutely quality. Don't forget, guys, pay attention in quali, okay? Because you want to get your picks in for race 1, race 2, race 3, and race 4. We will only ask you for one heat at a time. There's a 5-minute warm-up, believe, between race 1 and race 2, so you'll have 5 minutes to pick your next one, and a top 11 reverse. If you are going to enter into the Prediction Cup, make sure you pay attention to the top 11 reverse when we do the results, because obviously you're going to want to pick the guy at the front. Might give you the best opportunity for winning. Now, we normally up here in the booth pick with about 3 minutes to go on quali, so myself and Alex will do that. So if you want to get yourselves involved, pick who you think is going to win race 1, and we will bring back the Prediction Cup as well. As I said, over the winter season we weren't going to do it because it was just a bit of fun, but we are going to do it for the main series here. On to the first lap of quali. What are they going to have to look out for here, Alex? Because Suzuka is, well, okay, technically it's a technical circuit, right? The likes of the hairpin, you've got Spoon, you've got 130R, you've got the Casio Triangle. Everything other than that, though, through first corner, Snake, anti-back to Dunlop, that's a pretty simplified part of the circuit. But the rest of it is where they've got to make up their positions and make up time.
Yeah, the Degners are one of the biggest points where you've got to carry that momentum through. You're going to be going down a couple of gears, and you're going to have to lift off going into the corners ever so slightly before hitting the brakes. So it is going to be one of those tests, and at the hairpin is a prime place for overtaking. If you make a bit of a boo-boo coming out of Spoon Curve, which is a double left-hander, you know, it sweeps onto one apex where the cars will swing a little bit wider, as we are riding on board with the number 7 of Dan Hunt's at the minute, as we are going through at Spoon Curve, I believe.
Yep.
And this is where we could see at least 2 wide coming down the backstretch heading into the iconic 130R. But if you're on the outside and you decide to have the cojones to keep it pinned there, and the person on the inside doesn't open up their steering, all I'm going to say is wallop, barriers, exit stage right.
Absolutely. That's the thing. They've got to be very, very careful. Coming down into Casio Triangle as well, it's hard on the brakes. You've got to go right, you've got to go left, and then you've got to make sure that you can pin it on the exit, because otherwise you're going to struggle. First times are going to come in on the left-hand side. I'm not really worried about the first times here as well, because I think currently they really don't mean anything. It will be over the next couple of laps when they all start settling in, and as you can see, Steve Hefford's taken the lead on a 2:22.457. Dan Hunt's just gone 4:55. Hefford did a 6:13, and then everybody else coming in behind that. So we'll worry about the times over the next couple of laps. I think, to be fair, it's a little bit too early to justify coming up and worrying about who is pole at the moment. But are we going to say here at Suzuka pole is going to matter as much as other circuits, or do we think, yeah, you've got pole, but not always necessary?
Well, the biggest thing with qualifying here at Suzuka is that being on the front row gives you the perfect opportunity, but it's the run down to first corner that's going to be incredibly important, because as soon as you got through there, you've got the Snake complex, so you're stuck in the same gear, you're throttle modulating, might be giving a slight tap on the brakes, but nothing too hard, because otherwise with these rear-wheel drive front-engine cars, if you hit the brakes too hard, you're going to snap it around like a good, and it will go 180 degrees the wrong way, and then you'll find oncoming traffic, and it could be the case that there could be a race-ending incident. The mid-pack here at Suzuka is always a bone of contention, and in any other race anyway on iRacing. So the last sort of like 5 minutes of quali is going to really give us an indication of who's really been put in the practice when they found out what the calendar is. And of course we've had the big old update, which means that we could have rain as well, which is something I'm really looking forward to if it does happen.
If it comes onto an MX5, that would be absolutely amazing. I'm still waiting for confirmation of GT4s and Clios, and then the JPB leagues next season could be a bit chaotic, but we'll wait to see whether or not that comes out. But can you imagine this in the rain? That would be the thing.
That'd be like an F1 classic, wouldn't it? Only we've got MX5s and we haven't got Fernando Alonso and Michael Schumacher going side by side into 130R.
Yeah, pretty much. And we wouldn't have Senna and Press crashing down as well. So, you know, if you're going to end the season, you might as well do it like Senna and Alan Prost did. And as Murray said, it's happened already, as they come down here as well. Good old Murray Walker, gotta love him. King of commentary, without a shadow of a doubt. Pete Newman has just gone and set the fastest time on the board on the 2:22.33.2. We've got Darrell Wright and Fiona Siddons in the arms. They're sitting in third and fourth, respectively. Class, Colin Sampson's leading the class. Colin had a great winter season, so I'm not really shocked to see him up there. But he had an absolute epic season during the winter and got quicker and quicker and quicker. We haven't got times on the board for Darren McLean or Mick Barry or Mr. Craig Jones. So unless he's going to get a time on the board very, very shortly, then unfortunately for Craig, he's looking like he could be down at the back end of the grid. He has asked me, he come up, I spoke to him yesterday, I think it was, last night, while we were having a good old game of Fortnite, and he spoke to me and said, are you going to be nice to me as I'm returning on the broadcast? I said, I'll tell you what, Craig, if you go out and win a race, I will be nice to you for the rest of the season. I don't feel that's going to happen, so therefore I can say whatever I'm going to like about it.
Well, I feel that even if he wins a race, there'll be a couple of moments, then you'll forget all about it, and he'll get ribbed like nobody's business. But I think also with the fact that you have to look out for Fiona Siddons, who was actually not too far behind Colin Sansom in the Winter Series. Okay, yes, it's a little bit of fun. It means that everyone has a little bit of a get together, and they have a sort of like a smaller championship. And you can see there that, well, Arnaud Chanonnier in the Air Smart Racing number 142 has gone P2 in AM on a 2:24.107. I like the fact that with the points, as you mentioned, James, is that pros and AMs are thrown into the same melting pot. Mm-hmm. And that is something quite interesting because it will make it easier for us up here in commentary as, Mr. Jones gets a little bit tail happy through the hairpin, but manages to catch the slide quite nicely. So well held, Craig. Well done, buddy.
Look at you paying compliments and suck it up already. Gee whiz. Come on.
Well, I mean, that's the thing in these production-based vehicles. They are a race car in the figurative sense. It's more like a production car when you try and throw it into a hairpin and hope it sticks.
That's the thing, and I know when these cars went through an update that must have been 3 seasons ago, maybe 4 now, and they were loose. Boy, oh boy, were they loose. They'd come out of whatever they were done, and they were loose like crazy. And a lot of people were like, gee whiz, Batman, this is absolutely a nightmare. And I couldn't get back into the MX5s. I was sliding, I was pirouetting prettily along the side of the circuit. I was doing all the types of things that I was trying to do in the old MX5 that I couldn't do in the new one. But these guys adapt. This is their car. This is their league. The likes of Pete Newman, Dan Hunt, Tom Griffiths, PVG, Steve Hefford. This is what they do and what they have done for multiple years now, driving this car. And this is why it makes this league so special, because these guys have been together. Some of them have been together 5-6 years plus. Do you know what I mean? And I think this is where their whole community feel comes into it, the racing comes into it, the respectful racing that we see that you wouldn't see in other communities that you do end up seeing here.
Yeah, that's very true, because they all know each other. They're all on their respective voice chats on the UkSimracers server. So there'll be a little bit of playful banter and a little bit of ribbing, between them, and that's exactly the way that it should be. It should be about fun. Of course, yeah, they're competing for seasonal and tri-championship, as you alluded to earlier, James, and that's the beauty. I like the fact that you've got a championship within a championship. Well, you've got 3 championships within a major championship. So it's about everyone has the opportunity to have bragging rights going into the summer. But then when we go into the autumn one, it's like, right, get your elbows out and sharpened. It's now go time. So the first few races, we'll see everyone sort of getting things ready and seeing how the cars are going to work underneath them. One of the other beautiful things about this championship is pack racing. So who's that went straight on at the Casio Triangle?
I believe that may have been Steve Hefford. What's worse is I think Dan Hunt missed his braking point. He had a purple there, and he was getting a little bit more of an improvement. But unfortunately for him, he kind of tunnel visioned Steve Hefford as Hefford went off. So there you go. Welcome in, Mr. TBP in the house. I believe that is Al Corey in control of that account this evening. Right, Alex, it's come down to the nitty-gritty. Prediction Cup. Get your votes in. If you want to join in with the Prediction Cup that we are going to do for in the UK Sim Racers, your mission is to beat mine and Alex's scores. Okay, so we pick some. The only rules we have, and there aren't many, in fact there's only one, you can't pick the same driver twice. Okay, you have to pick 4 different drivers across the 4 different heats. That's it. That's the only rule we've got.
That explains it. So it's either a pro or an AM driver. Well, Dan Hunt, in the meantime, has just had to abort his lap because it just went all a bit Pete Tong through the Snake Complex. I'm going to go with Jamie Ayres, who's currently P2 in quali at the moment.
Ooh, Jamie Ayres. Now, generally, I would go at the moment with Pete Newman, but I save my Pete Newman pick. See, there's a lot of philosophy in this game, and I save it because a little bit later, I'll pull out the trump card on him. So I'm going to go with Tom Griffiths because obviously us commentators can't pick the same people. So we're going to go with Tom Griffiths. Let us know if you are going to join in who you think is going to win race 1, and then a little bit later when race 1 finishes we will talk about race 2. You've got about a minute and a half to get your picks in. So before we get to the end of reading the grid, that is it. I know generally Phil across the pond is normally in here, and he normally joins in, and a couple of others have come in and joined in as well. So yeah, Prediction Cup back. Get your votes in who you think's going to win, and your mission is just to beat mine and Alex's score. So that's it. Oh, by the way, it means nothing. There's no trophies. Nothing.
Yeah, there's no trophy. There's no iRacing credit or anything. There's nothing. It's just pride. That's all. That's all. Pride and bragging rights. That's all that comes into it, folks.
Yes, it does. It just means that you can pick a commentator. You know, you can be a commentator in a prediction. That's it. And if that does happen, please send me the lottery numbers because I'm rubbish at picking them as well. Right.
Yeah, I stopped doing the lottery years ago because I was always getting I was always getting them like literally be like, oh yeah, 2 numbers, oh 3, you're like, or 2 numbers and wanting to get that third, and then after about 5 attempts, I just went, forget it.
Yeah, absolutely. I've probably spent more money on it than I probably really needed to be honest. Right, so let's bring you up the grid. You haven't got long to get your predictions in. By the time I finish the grid, if you want to join in, you can. So get your predictions in here as well. Pete Newman is on pole for the Pure Sims team. He is back and taking the winning ways once more. Jamie Ayres in second, Dan Hunt in third with Tom Griffiths, PVG, Steve Hefford, Martin Sampson and Miles Owens rounding out the pros. Then you've got Darrell Wright, Colin Sampson, Daniel Dennison, Arnold Chagnon in the AMS in 12th, Ralph Cullinan, Craig Jones, Fiona Siddons, Mick Barry, Darryl McLean, Andy Littler and Steve Hansford. Right. Yo, what's up, Miles Owens? He says from the racetrack. Well done to you. Proud of you for getting in on there.
And Mr. Jones says, Daniel-san.
Yes. I've written him as Dan Hunt, but I put it down anyway, just in case he probably didn't mean that, and he's probably in there in general. So, right, we're going to be up and running. We're just waiting for Daniel Dennison to join us, and then we'll be off and running. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a minute and a little bit to get your predictions in, who you think is going to win if you want to join the Prediction Cup this season. Of course, you don't have to. You can just sit there and do not a lot. Or you can come and sit here and have some fun, or you could like, subscribe, turn on the bells, and do all that other fancy jazz that you get away and doing with for free. Right, cars are on, lights are coming on, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are green, green, green for the opening round of the spring season of the UK SimRacers live from Suzuka. And it is Pete Newman taking the whole shot with Dan Hunt sitting in second place, Tom Griffiths in third. Then you've got the Momo contingency separated from Martin Sampson, who gets a slide on already. Oh, mine and Steve Hefford into the wall. Pete Newman's broke away from all of that. Not everybody got away cleanly, and Martin Sampson and Steve Hefford were one of them.
Yeah, I was pretty much spot on there with regards to what I said. It's about getting through the first corner. And that has just shown that Martin Sampson in the 136 Optical Greenmaster has just ended up in the pit lane with massive front end damage. It was bumper away from car, let's say, and that ain't going to buff out.
No. Take a leaf out of NASCAR. Duct tape everything.
Yep.
They have duct tape sheets now over there. I was watching it the other day. They were literally duct taping, sheeting a car. Sheeting.
Oh, more dramas! That's coming out of the second Degner.
Oh, that's the results, boys. Oh, no. That's Darrell Wright, Ralph Cullinan, and Mick Barry, I believe. There's Ralph. He taps Darrell. There goes Mick. Oh, and then there was the 59 involved as well. That was Fiona Siddons. Results Clothing doing what results do best, taking each other out.
That's not what needed to happen right there. But, I mean, it just goes to show that if someone's ended up with a slowdown and you're right up their exhaust pipes, the first thing you're going to have to do is go, brace, wait for the hit, and then it happens. And then it causes the domino effect straight afterwards. And that's always a problem, going through those Degners. I mean, if anyone might remember a certain McLaren driver by the name of Heikki Kovalainen ending up backwards over the tyre barriers. Get well soon, Heikki. He's actually been found in a medical check late last year to have an enlarged aorta and is due to, have surgery to get himself back into racing.
Yeah, well, good luck on that one, and get well soon there, buddy. But we're on the roll bar of PVG. He's got to slot in behind Tom Griffiths here as well if he can. But there he goes. He's in on the run down the start-finish straight now, over the line, under the bridge, coming into turn one. Which way, PVG, are you going to go? Are you going to dive the inside? Are you not going to dive the inside? He's not going to dive the inside behind Tom Griffiths. Griffiths hard on the brakes, round turn one. It looks like Steve Hepford's had a bit of a moment further back in the order, going through Casio as well. Jamie Ayres is there. Darrell Wright and Mick Barry side by side again. That's Ayres coming out the pits, I believe. You want to be careful.
Drive-through.
Is it drive-through for Jamie Ayres? Yeah, drive-through for Jamie Ayres.
Straight through the pit lane there, James. I was like seeing him tumble, and I went, oh, well, there's my pit gone a bit further back than I expected.
Yeah, unfortunately for Alex, it's not a good start, but for Fiona Siddons and Darrell McLean, it's not bad at all. As we look at the class stats there, it is Newman, Hunt, Griffiths and Van Gaal not very far apart. And then you've got Sanson, Chagnon and Jones in the AMS. Craig Jones taking third place in that safeguard machine as he's chasing down Arnaud Chagnon. And then we've got Daniel Dennison behind from the Aerokinetics team behind that as well. The pro in sixth place in class. I'm sure he'll start looking at making his way through. Top 11 reverse, don't forget, for race 2. Mick Barry's had a little bit of a moment here, Alex, but tell you what, Tom Griffiths, PVG, Miles Owens, Colin Sanson and Dan Hunt at the front, they're all having a little bit of a ding-dong.
Yeah, as I said, the pack racing very much part and parcel of competing in an MX5 league. As you can see, it's just getting really, really close between second and third. Coming out of Spoon, and this is one of the big places where you get the slipstream, even though there are no aerodynamic aids such as a front splitter, or a wing, etc., etc. Down here on the backstretch, they're going to be turning a big rate of speed as they're going to literally hook the car up left. And this could be the battle on for PVG and Griffiths for not just second, but also for the race lead, because Hunt is still keeping them honest. PVG looks to the outside, going to the Casio triangle on Griffiths, but keeps it line astern. Owens and Newman are there, so this is a 5-horse race at the front end of the field as we're about to complete lap 2.
Yeah, these guys are going to be battling away. And further down the order, Craig Jones is going to be under pressure from Daniel Dennison very shortly. Andy Littler not too far back away from him, with Darren McLean tucked up as close as he physically can be, as he's gone out and pulled out to the right hand side. Under the bridge he goes. He's going to have that inside line going down into turn one. And Darren McLean, is he going to be able to get it stopped? That will be the question. He does get it stopped, hugs the apex, lets it drift a little bit wide, takes a later apex coming out the second part of turn one, and then off up through the stick section he goes, where Dan Hunt, Tom Griffiths, PVG, Owens and Newman are already going at each other.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit of cat and mouse between these top 5 drivers as they're going to now head through Dunlop, so they'll be accelerating. And again, PVG is swarming all over the back of Tom Griffiths, and that is not the place where you want to go towards the outside into the first Degner, as PVG takes a little bit of a tighter apex. In the meantime, Cullinan has just been passed by Tom Ayres, all run wide out of the second Degner by Tom Griffiths, and this could give the opportunity to PVG, who's not close enough alongside to try and go for the move through at the hairpin, but Hunt just parks the car exactly where he needs to. He's got the benefit of the doubt of being on the racing line and saying, right, you need to get past me.
Yeah, Craig Jones has just been passed by Dennison. He's got, well, they're side by side on that run into the, they're going round the 200R and down into Spoon. Craig Jones does sweep round the outside, gets the place back. Dennison is going to try and have another ding-dong with him up at the inside into Spoon. He does not. There, backs away from it, and that saves Craig Jones for at least one more corner. However, for Dennison, he's put himself right into the pack, and he's now got Darren McLean there.
That's the thing, you make one slip up of the technical parts of the circuit here at Suzuka, as we've got a move now happening. This is going to be a great one if the 55 of McLean gets through. He's trying to keep away from the left-hand side of the 116, and that is through. Great job there by McLean on Dennison for that place through at 130R, but Dennis is going to come right back at him through it to the Casio triangle. We'll get the inside line. That's a bit close, but they still give each other good racing room. But I think Dennison might get the edge coming out of the final corner. They are wheel to wheel, and that is just absolutely brilliant. As there's been a couple of changes at the front end of the field, because Tom Griffiths is saying, right, I don't want PVG behind me. He goes for the race lead, and he has got it through into the first part of the Snake Complex. Great work there by Tom Griffiths.
Yeah, he got the job done. They swapped places 3 times before the defining moment. Colin Sanson, Arnaud Chagnonier and Miles Owens, they're on a 3-wide battle up through the Antibank at the moment, going off to Dunlop. They've got to be careful of Dunlop. They don't want to end up on a curb on the outside, because if you end up there, all you're trying to look at doing is spelling trouble for yourself. So you've got to be a little bit more mindful when coming through Dunlop. Now you're going to go into Degner. This is where we're going to touch it. There goes Miles Owens. He's going to be a little dab on the brakes and then down into a gear. There you go. Off me through he goes, and now gets on his bike and does a great job through Degner 2, hooking it up over the ditch on the right hand side where it drops down, and then you're going to be on your way to the hairpin. Degner's is such a tricky corner, and especially coming through Degner 2, because Degner 1's such a fast entry.
Yeah, because Degner 1 sets you up for Degner 2 quite rightly, as we're riding on board with PVG as they're going over 100 miles an hour through here at 200R, and you can see that Hunt is not letting Griffiths go. He's going to fire it up the inside through at the first part of Spoon, but he goes a bit wide, and Griffiths is straight back up the inside like a rat up a drain pipe, but Hunt gets the overspeed coming out of the second part of Spoon curve. This could give PVG an opportunity to at least get second, and he's accidentally hit the wipers button.
He is, yeah, but there's Newman looking. Where is Newman going to go? He hasn't got anywhere to go. He's only just got to follow PVG and hope for the best. Griffiths had to take a little bit of a break there to try and get that car stopped and rotated into the second part, coming into Casio. We're on board with Newman. We're looking back at PVG and Griffiths. Did PVG hold it? He did. He got the move done. Now is he going to go for the lead? Well, that's going to be a question of the ages. We're going to find out very, very shortly. Miles Owens, Colin Sanson and Chagnonier. Then we've got Jones, McLean, Dennison and Littler, who is slowly pulling himself into this one as well. Andy Littler from the Work Guide by Result, same team as he's not in, where's Alan Toon actually? I believe he's teamed up with Alan Toon there for one of the Result boys. So a great job from Andy Littler. No, it's Fiona Siddons this time, sorry, as I'm mistaken. And Darren McLean has just taken the inside over Craig Jones, and PVG's trying to take the inside over Dan Hunt.
He did a bit of he went on 2 wheels, did PVG, and this is going to be very, very crucial what happens now, because through this part of the Snake Complex, and Griffiths has got Newman up his inside, and PVG still trying to force the issue on Hunt. This is not going to be easy to get through, as the late Murray Walker once said. It's one thing to catch somebody, it's something completely different trying to pass them. Hunt is just literally putting a defensive blocker on PVG as Tom Griffiths goes 2 wheels in the air on the right-hand side into the first of the 2 Dagners. Incredible side of things. Lisa Wright, for those wondering, your timings are confusing me. Hubby in blue is confusing me. I'm so confused. Well, Lisa, a little bit of education for you. The pros are in yellow, AMS. So that will be where your hubby is, Mr. Darrell Wright, in the result clothing car, which is 7th in the AMS. So periodically we'll switch between the overall timing, but also between the classes as well, just to give you an understanding of where they are in position.
Yeah, so overall, your hubby is in 15th, and in class, he is 7th. So that's where he is at the moment. So I hope that clear things up for you, Lisa. Welcome in. Lisa, I hope you're well, by the way. Long time no speak. Hope you're having a fabulous day and you haven't clipped Darrell around the ear with a slipper at any point. So let's see what happens with Tom Griffiths and Pete Newman. And there you see Dan Hunt and PVG. It's going to be best to have a look from this angle. Then we can pick up both battles at the same time. Dan Hunt is trying to hold it. Is he going to get past it here? He's not. What about Newman? Newman's going to hang on from Griffiths through the Casio triangle. What's the chances of getting 3 wide coming down into turn 1?
Very, very high. If they were right on each other's bumpers. I mean, Griffiths has lost out to Newman in the meantime. He, I think it was coming out towards the Casio triangle, and now the slipstreaming is going to take effect, and PVG is going to look to the inside of Hunt into first corner. No room at the end there, I'm afraid.
No, he doesn't. But I can tell you what, Miles Owens, Colin Sampson and Sean Yonye, Darren McLean is literally a roadblock right the way down for Fiona Siddons, as we've got 4 wide going into turn 1. Jamie Ayres has gone and said, I'm having this, I'm taking the lead. Out the way, boys, I'm coming through, says Jamie Ayres, and he's gone to the front of the pack, making up no fewer than 3 positions by the time he's gone round turn 1. Stellar drive from Jamie Ayres.
Yeah, I mean, despite that drive-through penalty, the number 46 from Wales and the Momo crew, and they've got, as always, a big contingent. They normally have anywhere between 5 to 7 drivers. We've got 6 tonight here at Suzuka, and again, you know, seeing the likes of Ralph Cullen and trying to battle away with the 999 of Andy Littler, who's just lost out. Oh, that's a great move there, but Cullinan's going to be on the outside going to the first Dagner. He's going to throw it around the outside. Made the move before the apex even came into consideration.
Yeah, these guys scrapping it out down in the middle. Jamie Ayres is trying to slowly escape. He's 1 second up the road. Griffiths and Dan Hunt are literally 0.01 seconds apart from each other going into Spoon, the left-hander. Griffiths is on the inside in the blue, Hunt's in the red and white. He's gone in deep. That's going to bring Newman through. Now Newman's going to want the draft out of Griffiths going down the back stretch down into 130R. This could be quite easily a commencement of a 3-wide battle at any point, because Newman's getting the double draft. He is closing in like an absolute banshee. Now he started going out. Griffiths on the left, PVG on the right. He clears PVG. He slots in behind him. Newman's trying to come through on Dan Hunt. They're side by side going through 130 into Casio triangle. What's going to happen here? Hunt is on the left. Newman in the pure Sims is there. Now they're all going to be coming down the start finish straight close together.
Yeah, the thing was, I think I noticed that Tom Griffiths actually had a lock-up coming out of Spoon Curve, so that put him into that side of things. But the white flag is in the air here at race 1 of round 1.
Yeah, white flags there. Barney's waving. PVG's now going to go for it. He's decided enough is enough is enough, says PVG. He tries to sweep round the outside. Does he hold on to it? He does. Griffiths is in there, coming through and the exit of turn 1. Now we're going to start the snake section. We're going to go left very shortly. There it is. Now we're going to come to the right. There we go. 4 drivers going at it, and they've only got this last lap to go. Left. Now they're going to come right through Anti-Banked. Then they're going to be going up through Dunlop here, Alex. This is going to be a never-ending last lap barnstormer.
It's also going to be a nail-biter as well. There have been a couple of changes. McLean and Cullinan have just swapped places, so Cullinan goes up to 11th overall. And then again, McLean goes, no, you're not having that place. I'm going to take it back. But yeah, into the Degners for the final time. PVG 2 wheels in the air on the right-hand side as they go through Degner 2. but he's just run a little bit wide. He's run onto the dust a little bit, and that's going to allow Griffiths to go 2 wheels on the grass on the run down to the hairpin.
Oh, Griffiths is going to have the inside line. PVG is going to get bullied out. He's going to go round. No, him and Hunt. Oh, no. Dan Hunt.
I think there was the slightest touch between Griffiths and PVG. Griffiths was up the inside, and so you can see that Newman's got no rear bumper to speak of on that MX5. Yeah, and then it was the second, it was always going to be a little bit of a hip check that was going to spin somebody around, and unfortunately it was PVG, and unfortunately for Dan Hunt, he just had absolutely nowhere to go on that one.
Right, here we go, coming down the back stretch for the final time. Is it going to be Newman? Is it going to be Griffiths? Who's going to get this? Round the left-hander they're going to go. Griffiths is in front of us. Newman is behind. No lift this time for Griffiths. No braking. Hug the inside. Newman's going to be wanting to look for it now. Now they're going side by side through the final Casio. Griffiths has gone in deep. Has he stopped Newman's run? He hasn't. Newman's joined into the back. Unfortunately, Newman's not going to have long. The finishing line is just round the corner. It's going to be Tom Griffiths. There's the finishing line. Griffiths gets it over Newman. What's happening behind? It's Dan Hunt over Miles Owens with Colin Sanson. Then everybody else is going to come over. But look at the Craig Jones train with Darren McLean, Darrell Wright, Ralph Cullinan, Fiona, Andy Littler and Fiona Siddons all coming over not very far apart. And it is Craig Jones who leads the train. Comes over first with Darren McLean, Darrell Wright, Andy Littler, Ralph Cullinan and everyone else within that pack. That's the opening race. We've got 3 more of them.
Yeah, that's just the taster of what's to come, folks. Because some great side-by-side battling, but unfortunately, Rubbing's racing, and yeah, PVG got the short end of the stick on that one, I'm afraid.
Yeah, he definitely did, and I'd like to point out my pick, Tom Griffiths, won. I'm happy.
Prediction Cup's just for laughs and giggles, guys and girls.
No, don't start that. It's a bragging race. If I beat you, I'm bragging.
Yeah. Well, we'll wait and see about what happens next, but here's the results for race 1 of round 1, folks. James, take us through it.
Yeah, Tom Griffiths is your winner. Pete Newman in second, Dan Hunt in third. Then you've got Miles Owens in fourth. Colin Sanson takes the win in the Arms with Arnold Chagnon in second place. PVG, Jamie Ayres, Daniel Dennison, Craig Jones and Darren McLean will be on pole alongside Mr. Jones in second. Darrell Wright, Andy Littler, Ralph Cullinan round out the top 14. Then you've got Fiona Siddons, Steve Hefford, Steve Hansford, and then poor old Mick Barry. It was a good few laps down, and Martin Sampson, who unfortunately was 6 laps down and lasted pretty much through turn 1. Right, Mr. G, race 2.
Yeah.
Chuck me your prediction, dear sir. Don't forget.
I'm going Griffiths. I'm going Griffiths.
So top 11. So that's going to be McLean, Jones, do you know what? It's got to be Jamie Ayres. He had too much pace in that first race. Let us know, back where you belong, Craig. Yep. To be fair, though, Craig,
Lisa's already said about Darrell. No slapping him tonight. I didn't realise he dropped back to an AM.
Yeah, I can't answer that one, unfortunately, Lisa, there as well. Don't forget, get your picks in, guys. It's just for a bit of fun. It's just to see if you can beat me and Alex come the end of the tri-season, or the end of this season, and then then we'll do it each season, just for a bit of chuckles. So let me know if you want to have a little pick on who you think is going to win race 2. Don't forget, after this one, guys, we will take a break. It's generally about 5 minutes just so we can swap over sessions before we go into session number 3 and number 4. So don't panic, we will come straight back, but we do have to need to change sessions. So there we go. Right, 2.5 minutes or 2 minutes 50.
With Hunt, with Newman, with Griffiths. So expect that to happen all the way through all 3 championships and the tri-championship in total.
Yeah, 2 seconds there, guys. I've got a funny feeling we may have just cut off for a minute. OBS may have just said no for a brief moment.
Well, we are back.
So
we are back,
I think we're back now. So hopefully we will stay back this time, and our wonderful world of OBS will behave itself. So that would be amazing if you can do that for me.
You might need to give that OBS a slap with a slipper then.
Yes, I'll go round and get Lisa's. Clearly it works.
Thickness in the sole does wonders.
Yeah, good old slipper. Nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with a good old slipper every now and then. Not that I've had a slipper for ages, to be fair. My mum is the funny one. She walks on a walking stick, and when I take the mickey out of her, she runs after me with a walking stick until my dad gets her a stool, and then she can actually reach my head. But for now, she just runs after me with a walking stick.
Sounds like a Benny Hill comedy all over again, with the accompanying music.
It is. It's quite amusing to try and see my mother run as well, to be fair. It's more of a penguin waddle at her age, but, you know, hey.
Bless her.
Yeah. As I did see her earlier on as well. So, Haggis Hunter, could you refresh Trading Paints? Noticing Denison's livery wasn't loaded. I did refresh it before we come in. I will, before we started quality, I will refresh it for you again. Okay, Mr. Haggis Hunter there as well. Daryl says Lisa's... What's that say?
I don't know. It's like a hand up, but Summer Farm Estate says Daryl says Lisa don't slap him. Don't you want to bet?
Yeah. £5 Daryl gets a slap.
Them be fighting words, Summer Farm Estates.
Yeah,
and Craig's just throwing his 2 cents in as well.
Apparently he wears the trousers. Yeah, men know we don't. Right, we got Darryl McLean in your pole position for race 2. Craig Jones in second. Daniel Dennison third. Jamie Ayres fourth. PVG in fifth. Arnold Chagnon in sixth. Colin Sansom in seventh. Miles Owens eighth. Dan Hunt ninth. And Pete Newman down in 10th with Tom Griffiths in 11th. Darryl Wright down in 12th. Then you got Andy Littler, Ralph Cullen and Fiona Siddons, who is Summer Farm Estates. Then Steve Hefford, Steve Hansford, Mick Barry and Martin Sampson. So that will be your top pick for the race number 2. Don't forget, we will have a break after this one as we'll be going into race 3 and race 4. The lights are coming on. We are going to be going green, green, green very, very shortly. And in fact, we are up and running and we are underway. And it's Darryl McLean taking the first place on the right-hand side as he's going to go down into turn 1. Craig Jones has put a block on Daryl Dennison. Dennison's livery is loaded in. That's very bizarre. It didn't load in the first time. Jamie Ayres alongside him. He takes the third place away. PVG into the mix there. And Arnold Chagnon in a new Air Smart livery that decided it didn't want to load in the first time but has now loaded in again. So everybody at the moment, though, Alex, Touchwood away cleanly.
Yeah, they were fanning out to nearly 4 wide on the run down to first corner. But yeah, Jamie Ayres already getting the jump and making up a couple of positions. I'll make that one position. He started 4th. But again, there's a bit of madness in the background, as Dennison has got passed through on Ayres.
PVG.
Deary me! Calamity!
Oh my God, blimey.
Oh dear, Hefford got away with that one, but he's got a big old dent in the right side door on that number 72. Darryl Wright, Fiona Siddons, I think. Well, this is where they go 3 wide. And there's a send up the inside. Oh, dearie me. That is not what you want to have happen. 2 come together. The first of which was the number 39 of PVG. Andy Littler's had a moment as well. And it just causes absolute pinball wizardry.
Count the result, boys. We got Andy Littler, Darryl Wright, Fiona Siddons, Mick Barry.
And Darryl Wright's got 3 wheels on that wagon. That ain't going to buff out.
No, there he is. One of them's pointing sideways for poor old Darryl. So, yeah, I'm guessing that might be game over. Back up front, Craig Jones is actually leading a race. He's leading a race. If he wins, I've got to be nice to him. Come on, Darren. Get in, Darren.
Now it's going to start. But look, this is going to be incredibly close. I mean, I have to be honest, Tom Griffiths just negotiated that madness that happened, as it's going to be 2 wide for 3rd and 4th going, and that was, I think that was 3rd and 4th going into 130R. You know, they're clocking at over 105 miles an hour through that corner. They're nearly 120, all sent there from Dennison up the inside of Jones through the first part of the Casio triangle, and Jones has dropped behind Dennison and Jamie Ayres, and Ayres is now going for the race lead.
Oh, he led for half a race, did Mr. Jones. That was good enough. I'll be nice to you for the rest of this race. I'm not including race 3 and 4.
4 wide though, James. 4 wide.
This ain't going to work.
No.
Nope.
Oh, no! No.
On a straight.
Dennison
Oh.
and Jones, they come together, and who else does it collect? I think it was
McLean. Yeah. On a straight.
Oh, it was Dennison that instigated it. He turned right to go into the corner, and Jones was immediately on his right-hand side.
You're right.
That's how it looked like in that shot.
I agree. Haggis is not believing us. It was deliberate. It was not. Jones has never been deliberate in his whole entire life.
I think it was a 50-50 on that one, because Jones managed to get the side draft, because he was actually behind Dennison by half a car length, but the contact actually happened when Dennison went to turn right.
Yeah.
I think it might have been our friend Mr. Netcode in there as well.
He overcorrected. I think that was the interesting thing. If you have a look back of Dale Dennison's car, you'll see that Craig come over to the left-hand side, taking his lane to join Void. There's one. There's the overcorrection, and that is what initiated the incident. Then he's spinning, unfortunately. Could have done with a little bit on the brakes a little bit earlier, my little dearie me. And then, unfortunately, he collected Darren McLean. So that's right. Jones, little Hansford in the pits. What does Dennison's MX5 look like? Well, that's the front end of it. Let's have a look at the from the gearbox of Ralph Cullinan. Okay.
Yeah, I did notice that the bumper's a bit adrift actually on the left front from where he's hit the barriers.
I wouldn't be surprised on that one though, would you really? Like, when you think about it in a logical terms, because, you know, he did take a hefty whack, didn't he? Look at the state of that car. It's not looking pretty.
That's going to go to the body shop after this one when we change servers.
Yeah.
But Tom Griffiths, in the meantime, been doing a cracking job. Started down in 11th, and he's up to P4. He's got Hefford right behind him. And what's more interesting is that, well, Griffiths hasn't had the lap times to try and close in on the front because he's been battling away with Hefford. Miles Owens, just behind them, about a second away, has just put in the fastest lap of a 2:23.623. So Griffiths, you know, has got. Oh, he doesn't need to run wide like that. That's the thing about the first corner. You go and carry a bit too much momentum into there, you'll find out exactly how Tom Griffiths did. You lose a place, and you're actually having to go like brake, and it didn't quite work.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? The harder you brake, the more you're almost forcing or giving the car an option to lock up on you. And I think that's one of the things that you've got to be very, very careful of. And it's definitely going to be one of the things that Ayres and Hunts are going to be careful as they're coming through Degner 1. There's the fast entry into Degner 1. Now they've got to get it stopped over Degner 2, which Jamie Ayres does absolutely beautifully. If anybody wants to watch how you do Degner 2, that is it. However, Steve Hefford in the background going out over the gravel is not how you do Degner 2.
No, not at all, because you can get that completely wrong. I've seen it before. I think, what is it? I commentated on a GT3 race, and it was 3 wide, trying to go in, coming out of Degner 2, and the person on the outside got a little bit of a hip check and found themselves going exit stage left, and bang, it went straight into the barriers, and the car was a complete mess.
Yeah, not a good idea going 3 wide. It's not always a good idea at times going 2 wide, I can tell you that much. But these guys are still battling away. 8 minutes of race number 2 left, and Jamie Ayres is pulling up alongside Dan Hunt under the Dunlop Bridge. We've got Pete Newman nestles in. He's going to start pulling in the draft little bit by little bit. Hunt's lost a place to Ayres. Ayres is on the grass. He goes round 130 yard. Now coming into Casio Triangle. Under the Advan Bridge, they're going to go hard on the brakes. Now into the right-hander. Are they going to make it through? They do. Oh, Dan Hunt's going to get a little bit of a better run out here. He definitely did. That entry into that Casio Triangle gave him the run on the exit, Alex. And now it's going to be a straight drag race down into turn 1.
Yeah, Ayres was sideways, trying to come out of the second part of the Casio triangle. The back end stepped out to the right-hand side, and Hunt is now going to be on the perfect inside line. Newman again factors in. Griffiths and Hefford were briefly side by side. Hunt up the inside. Ayres trying to carry the momentum through the corner. Will lose out for the race lead heading into Snake Complex. So Dan Hunt just placing the car where he needed to, but Ayres is coming back at him into the first part of the Snake Complex, and Look has got a great run. Hunt is now scrabbling for traction, and Newman has got the ringside seat.
Yeah, the interesting thing I find with Pete Newman is, what does he need to do, or does he not need to do anything apart from watch and maybe hope that these guys have a little bit of a coming together as they're coming down. They're going through Dunlop, then they're coming into Degner 1, the right hand up, through they go, fast entry. Now see if Jamie Ayres can hook up the exit like he did last time. He did, he's done it beautifully again. Now he's going to be coming out side by side. Now on the run down into the hairpin. Is Jamie Ayres in front? He did. Is Dan Hunt going to look up the inside? He's not this time, and Newman's going to sit there and just follow them all through, as he has done for the last 2 laps.
Yeah, I think it's a good tactic by the Pure Sims number 118. But also, in the meantime, Tom Griffiths has gapped Steve Hefford by about 2.3 seconds. So Hefford's probably had a moment somewhere out on circuit. So, but at the rate that these three are battling, well, especially the two up front, Newman getting a bit closer to Hunt coming through the second part of Swoon Curve as they're going to go down the back stretch. Owens has now got past on Hefford, so Hefford's had a couple of dramas on the last couple of laps, did a 2:24.4 and still had a bit of a problem. Hunt now looking to the inside of Ayres, going through into 130R. Ayres did not fight that. He didn't want to chance having contact through into 130R, but he's going to go for the inside line into the first part of the Casio triangle. Is possibly going to be a hip check there? No, they give each other about half a door width, but Hunt has Ayres up the inside through the final corner, and on to lap number 5 will go, and Ayres has got Hunt now looking up the inside of him, going down the start-finish straight. Well, Newman's going to get a double toe here. Look at the speed from Newman. Oh. You're right, it is 3 wide. Newman threads the eye of the needle, decides to back out of the move. Ayres to the outside. Hunt still has got the lead, and Newman gets through. That was very, very shrewd from Newman there to get up into P2 past Ayres.
Yeah, he put his car in the right position. Then he kind of slowed down, but at the same time, Ayres had already backed out. So therefore, Newman then went, well, if you're going to do it, I'm not going to do it. We're not going to sit here and go to me to you like a Barry and Steve chuckle. We're going to get on with it. So Newman then took the initiative and went through. 2-second gap back to Griffiths. He's trying to play catch up at the moment. They're going to have probably another 2 laps just. They crossed over the line with about 30 seconds, if that, on the clock last time out. So we'll keep an eye and see. But Jamie Ayres, Newman and Dan Hunt not very far apart. Steve Hefford and Miles Owens not very far apart. Then Ralph Cullen and Chagnon PVG also tucked in around in each other. And that is the last of the battles. But Newman, Hunt and Ayres, 2 wide, go 2.5 wide, going into the hairpin.
That was a bit close. I mean, Newman had the lead for about 3 corners, and Hunt was straight back at him. And Ayres still fancies this opportunity. But whilst these 3 are battling, folks, Tom Griffiths is closing a little bit by every corner. He's gaining a little bit of time, as now Newman fires it up the inside, through at Spoon, and retakes the race lead. Ayres takes a little bit of a lunge up the inside of Hunt through the second part of Spoon Curve. Slight kissing of fenders there, right front to left rear. Craig Jones needs to stop saying about the fact that he says it's because I'm a sex machine,
he
Dan,
wishes.
and he goes, season ban easily.
He wishes. That's in response to, I think, the message from Haggis earlier on.
Yes.
Jones was deliberate. Dude, if you don't know Craig, he's not deliberate at anything. You know, he really isn't. He's not deliberate in anything. So, yeah, unfortunately, that was just a pure little racing incident, I think, where they were racing so closely, that they ended up coming together. Now Newman's on the left-hand side. They are going to get 1 and 1 more just, unless this lap goes completely Pete Tong and it goes for 20 seconds extra than what it has done. Ayres is in hot. Newman's trying. Oh, not this time.
Look who's joined the party. Tom Griffiths is there in 4th. He was 2 seconds behind. I'm looking at the lap times. 2:25.4 for Hunt, 25.6 for Ayres, 25.3 for Newman. Griffiths 23.5. He went, right, I know they're going to start battling, and once they are, I mean, look at the differential between Newman and Griffiths on that last lap. Nearly 1.9 seconds gained by the number one who won the opening race of this season.
Yeah, absolutely. A stellar pull-in. 1.8, 1.5, that's 3.2. Yeah, I think. Unless my calculator...
Yeah, it's close to 3.4 seconds.
Yeah.
Bit of a mistake there from Newman coming through the second Degner. Griffiths now up to 3rd.
Oh, dearie me. Jamie Ayres, get on your bike, son. Hey, I don't like losing, regardless if it's just for fun.
To each their own, my good friend. But you know what? Newman's not letting Griffiths away. He's right up his rear bumper as they're going to head into Spoon. Now, what is Newman going to go here? He's going to go to the tighter line up the inside, but is that going to make him run a little bit deep through the second part of Spoon Curve? No, he keeps it nice and tidy.
Yeah, it does, and through he goes, Pete Newman this time. Now it's all about catching up to the gentleman in front. Ralph Cullinan has got a bit of an issue back here, and that's the fact that he's got a Dutchman and a Frenchman charging after him. There is like the charge of the light brigade behind Ralph Cullinan. Here comes PVG. Down the backstretch they go, underneath the Dunlop Bridge. Now they're going to be going through 130R. The left-hander, is there going to be a lift? Is there going to be a break? Or is there going to be a crash? Well, there's neither here, and so let's see what happens. It's Cassio. Chagnon-Yé's thinking about sending it free wide. Oh, I'm glad he didn't, though, Alex. Free wide into Cassio. That would have been horrendous.
Yeah, well, they have crossed the line of the leaders with about 23 seconds on the clock, so Barney, the flag marshal, will be waving the white flag as Ayres briefly got through. Look how close they're getting to the wall on the inside of the start-finish straight. This is going to be a bit chaotic if it all goes wrong right about now, because Cullinan looking to the outside of PVG, he's going to... Looks like Cullinan could lose out to Chagnon-Yé, but Chagnon-Yé also runs a little bit wide to carry the momentum through first corner. Meantime, here's the battle for the race lead. Time has hit 0.
Yeah, we are through Dunlop. Nobody's hit that outside curb yet and spun their car up. I'm actually quite shocked by that. That probably would have happened 4 or 5 times in other machines that we see within iRacing. Now it's Jamie Ayres through Degner 1. Is he going to take Degner 2 like he has done all night? Pinpoint perfect. Apart from the exit. Just got the entrance in, just didn't get it slowed down enough. That's going to allow Dan Hunt coming up through the right-hander alongside. Hunt on the left in the red and white. Ayres in the famous Momo red and black. Newman in the blue and white, and Griffiths in the mostly blue at the back of him as he's 4. Got to be going at it down the back stretch. What do we reckon? 4 wide? It wouldn't shock me if it happened.
No, that'll probably be more than likely. Well, it won't be coming down the back stretch as they're going into the hairpin for the final time. It is going to be 3 wide. Newman, what a send from him! Oh, clash between the top 3, and Hunt is around. Newman takes the lead, and Griffiths is second, and Hunt's lost it again through Spoon Curve. Ayres down to 3rd.
Oh man.
It was a sandwich. It was a Mazda MX5 3-car sandwich, and yeah, you can see that Danny gets a touch, and Griffiths now go through into 130R on Newman for the race lead, and it's going to be the run to the Casio triangle. Newman's going to have the inside line, but what can Griffiths do? He's going to try and keep it pinned to the outside, as there is a possible little bit of a door swap of paint. It's going to be the run out of the final corner. Newman's lost it and he's off. But it's going to be Griffiths. Oh my goodness me. 2 from 2 for the number 1.
Jamie Ayres is going to come over in second. Miles Owens is going to steal the 3rd place from what should have been potentially 5th there. He didn't do it. He got the... I think that was Chagnon-Yé.
I was going to say, missing a front bumper and a caved-in bonnet to boot.
Yeah, there's Colin Sanson as he's going to come over the line. He's going to take the victory in the AMS. That's 2 for 2 for Sansom. And then Barry coming over in second place. Who's going to get third? I believe it's going to be this way, Mr. McLean, who's going to get third. But where was Newman going? It was like off into a different realm.
It's like he's actually flown over to South Korea. You see, that there's a little bit of a touch, and he just loses the back end there, and it just pirouettes him around.
And then somewhere in all of this, Arnold Chonier has that moment. So where did you go wrong? Am I going to see the first victim of the curb at 130R?
I think you're right.
I think I am.
No, he just well, he has chronic understeer. Yeah, right rear goes, and then bang.
Bish bash bosh. As they're all there, just waiting for Martin Sampson to come over the line. I have to say it like that, otherwise I get him and Sansom confused. So there we go. Right, that is the end of race 2, and here are the results. Tom Griffiths is your winner again, with Jamie Ayres in second place, Miles Owens in third, Steve Hefford in fourth, then Pete Newman fifth, PVG in sixth, Dan Hunt in seventh, Ralph Cullen in eighth, and Daniel Dennison in ninth. That's the pros. In the AMS, Colin Sansom takes the victory with Mick Barry and Darren McLean, your 1, 2, 3. Fiona Siddons in 13th, Mike Sampson 14th, Arnold Chonier, Steve Hansford, Andy Littler, and of course Craig Jones. We saw what happened to him with Darryl Wright a little bit further down there as well. Right, guys, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. And we'll see you on the other side. Okay, guys, we are back for race 3 here from Suzuka. I am still James Parfitt, and I'm still joined by Mr. Goldschmidt here as well. Alex, I think you got to safely admit we've had a great race 1 and race 2.
And it's 1-1 in the prediction cup between you and me as well, because we both predicted a winner.
Yes. Well, this one is completely random. So who are you going with?
I'm going to go with Miles Owens, actually, on this one.
Really? Okay.
Well, I've got to mix it up a little bit. I mean...
Okay, well, this is me...
He did show good pace in that second race, didn't he?
This is me Pete Newman trump card. This is
Still
the one.
Going for Newman.
I am. That's 3 different people then. Let us know if you want to join the Prediction Cup, of course. It's just a bit of a fun that we do over the seasons, just to see if you guys at home can beat myself and Alex up here in the booth. If you can't, well, it just means we're amazing.
Yeah. And the thing is...
That was your moment, Alex, to pick us up, yes.
Or not. Well, yeah. I was looking at the chat because Miles Owens has just put a bronze medal emoji in the chat.
Well, there we go. He did take 3rd in race 2 by sheer luck.
Yes, because there was a little bit of madness at the front end.
Yeah, Dan Hunt and Pete Newman having a little bit of a ding-dong coming together. Yeah. So,
and then Sean Onier going, yeet, exit stage left, bang, and 3 wheels on the wagon. And that's not the first time we've seen that tonight.
Poor old Sean Onier. I feel very upset for him. There we go. Never mind. We should start. They should fast forward the session very shortly, and then we'll get up and running for race 3. Complete random reverse. We have no idea where anyone's going to be, but I'm sure we're going to find out shortly enough as we're going to get this race up and going for the 3rd time. One more after this, and then that is it for round 1. Done already. Oh, blimey. Been a very quick evening of racing. I think that's the thing. When you have fun in a series, it just absolutely flies by, doesn't it? And then before you know it, you're going, right, take care, everyone. Have a good night. And then...
see you next week.
Yeah. And then before you know it, you're going on to Silverstone next week, and then you're going to Bathurst, then you're going to Zandvoort, then VIR, then Road America's Bend. I've seen that layout. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. Knockhill Reverse, Imola the motor layout, Mid-Iowa full course, Laguna Seca, Algarve or Portimao, and then Interlagos to finish the season. Probably the best track on the calendar.
Yeah, and that's going to be interesting, possibly seeing 3 to 4 wide going into the Centre S's. Yeah, I mean, it's a great mixture of calendars, and also it gives the drivers a bit of a challenge over the course of the season. You don't want it to be too... meh is the term I'm looking for. You know, you don't want it to be a bit where, like, there'll be people that will do better at certain circuits than others, but by having that good mix, it really sort of livens the ante up.
It definitely does. Definitely does. It's a good mix of street circuits, road circuits, short circuits, longer circuits, and a straight flat-out classic at the end of the season in Interlagos. Cannot wait for that one. Don't forget, guys, while you are here, like, subscribe, turn on the bells, and do all the other fancy jazz that you can do on YouTube for completely and utterly free. Don't forget, it doesn't cost you an absolutely penny. And don't forget to leave comments down below if you feel that me and Alex have done an amazing job, or if you feel we haven't, or whatever you would like to say, basically. We do read them all, and I do try and catch up with them as best as I possibly can. Just wait for an advancement of the session here before we get going. And then we'll be up and running with race 3 before we get to race 4.
Yeah, and of course, if you do hit the subscribe and the notification bell, we'll take you through some of the programming that's coming up later on this week. that you can all enjoy from the comfort of your home, or if you're on a bus, on your smartphone, you can watch it wherever you are in the world, absolutely free every single time you want to catch up with whatever's happened the previous week or whatever your fancy is, whether it be Formula One, whether it be NASCAR, whether it be Radicals, whether it be TCR, Super Formula. This, and then of course, looking forward to the return of IGP fun very, very soon indeed, because season 2 gets underway later on this week, actually this coming Sunday, where they've gone to the Super Formula cars.
Yeah, the Super Formula Lights.
Super Formula Lights.
Yeah, or the Dallara 234, 344, 53. I can't remember what it was called.
It's got some 3-number vernacular at the back of it.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called. Hold on a minute. Give me a second. I'll work it out. I completely forgot. It's the new one, isn't it? It's, oh my giddy god, what is it called? I can't remember. Alex, what is it?
I'm looking it up as we speak.
It's the, oh dearie me, I have no idea. I can't find it in the list. What is it? Is it the Dallara 234? Sure, it's the 23.
It's the Dallara 320. 324. 324. So you were, yes, you said 234. So change the second one with the first one, and you got it.
Oh, well, close enough. I'll give myself a win on that one. Not very often I get things right. I'm surprised we have not advanced by now. Miles, why have we not advanced? Martin Sampson, Craig Jones is the new Carl Hardy. What, causing... What? Carl didn't really cause that many crashes, did he?
He's probably getting close, you never know, do you?
I don't really know. I can't remember. So, okay. Why have we not advanced? I'm surprised we're sitting here still in warm-up. I wonder who we're waiting
Someone
for.
needs to slap with a thick-soled slipper right about there.
Come on, Lisa. Get your slippers out, girl. Get hold of them. Right.
Oh, there we go. They've just hit the checkers, so they're advancing now.
Right. Let's get the grid up, ready to go for race 3. And here it will be. Oh! Dan Hunt on the front, alongside Steve Hefford, with Fiona Siddons, Darrell Wright, Pete Newman, Jamie Ayres, Tom Griffiths, Miles Owens, Martin Sampson, and Darren McLean. That is your top 10. Excuse me. Daniel Dennison, Craig Jones, Ralph Cullen, Colin Sansom, Andy Littler, Sonia Yates, Hansford Barry, and Van Gogh. As I got a funny feeling, these guys are already on the grid, and I believe... Is that smoke, or is that my imagination?
Oh, that looks really, really weird.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is that the sun position blurring the camera? Let's have a look at another one. I don't like that one. Yeah, that's a little bit better. But, yeah. Oh, no, there is... There's a fire in turn 1. Yes. There's a fire in turn 1.
Get the marshals on the scene, stat!
Yeah. What is going on there? Right, the lights are coming on here as well. 2, 3, 4, 5. And race 3 is green. Steve Evan and Dan Hunt lead us away. All the smoke's cleared all of a sudden down in turn 1, but it's Dan Hunt going to take the whole shot with Steve Evan in seconds, Fiona Siddons in third. Newman's going to try and make the jump up the inside. Didn't make it into turn 1. What about on the exit of turn 1? He does make it there as these guys go up through the snake for the first time. And touch wood, so far, everybody apart from Colin Sanson, who's jumped to the pits but has left the pits now, has made it through cleanly.
Same with Darren McLean as well. They both didn't grid up ready in time, so McLean's now managed to venture out of the pit lane, so they're going to be on the back foot, so to speak. But yeah, Hefford trying to close in on Hunt for the race lead. Newman now third, up 2 places from 5th on the grid. Cullen, in the meantime, has just got up into P10 past Owens, as that was Griffiths. Griffiths has just completely run wide.
Oh, Martin Sampson.
And there's been an incident. Jones, Littler, Sampson involved, and Jones has got no front bumper. Oh, dearie me.
Well, there's Griffiths. Sampson's come back on. Dunlop. Oh, into Jones. Jones has lost his bumper. Everybody else is on the brakes. Van Gaal was on the brakes as well. And Craig Jones is back in the pits for the second race in a row. Bless his little cotton socks. As Pete Newman and Steve Hefford running round 200R off up into Spoon for the first time here with 13.5 minutes on the clock. And it is still Dan Hunt leading away. Steve Hefford second. Pete Newman. Oh!
That was close. That was
Yes.
very close indeed.
Yeah, that was nearly an exit stage for Steve Hefford as these guys go down the backstretch for the first time. Then we've got Fiona Siddons, who's leading Dennison, Cullinan, Owens, Griffiths, Wright, Chagnon. Dennison's going to go too wide under the Dunlop Bridge we go, coming up to 130R. On board with Siddons, you can just see the error connects of Dennison on the right-hand side. He's got ahead. He got it. Oh, she's lost it.
Oh, Siddons gets touched.
She definitely did. Definitely. There was a touch there, but who was it from? Ralph Cullinan. Oh,
dear me. And Miles Owens just positioned the car exactly where he needed to as Fiona Siddons lost the back end as a result of that contact. And yeah, that's another car that's going to be in pit lane very shortly.
Yeah, unfortunately for Siddons there, contact with Cullinan. And then, of course, we had the Sampson and Jones incident. Jones, I'm sure we'll be back in YouTube chat very shortly. Why he's watching it as well. Poor old Mr. Jones. I said I'd be nice, but I've got nothing to be nice about at the moment, unfortunately, as he sat for the last two races in the pit lane. 4 men that aren't is the Hunt, Newman, Hefford and Ayres going at it in race 3. Off through Dunlop they go. Got to watch the curve on the exit. That's what caused the problem with Martin Sanson and Tom Griffiths as they run wide. And then behind that, Dennison, Griffiths and Owens still scrapping it off once more. But we'll stick for the leaders just as they come round into Degner 1. Now onto the slight little break, getting it hooked up in Degner 2. Steve Hefford, can he get an exit? Oh, he gets a snap on the exit. Unfortunately for him there, and nearly lost it himself.
Craig Jones is liking the hospitality in the pit lane. He said it's great being back in this league. They really do look after the pits. Oh well, fair enough. Have a cup of tea and a bicky whilst you're there, Craig.
Yeah, say hello as well. Come up to the booth, Craig. Come and say hello to us. You know, we've just sat above you while you're in the pit lane. Come and have a chat with us as me and Alex are enjoying the comfort of the commentary booth. However, Dennison is not enjoying the comfort of Tom Griffiths about now as he's coming into Spoon. As Griffiths going to go sweep round the outside. I'll be very surprised if he makes this work, but I would not be surprised if he does, to be blatantly honest. Not this time.
Well,
Owens checked up.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Owens just had to hit the anchors very, very quickly, and that lost all the run of momentum for the SimRace Sweden Esports number 74. Griffiths again looking to the outside down the back stretch, heading into 130R. He's nosed ahead of Dennison at the minute, but Dennison may have the inside line. It's getting a bit feisty just ahead of them as well. But yeah, Griffiths makes it through on Dennison through at 130R. Owens is there, Cullinan is there, Wright is also in this mix, and not too far behind is Arnaud Chagnon.
Yeah, through the Crassio triangle they go. Dennison's got a little bit of a run over Griffiths if he can just keep it tight on the exit. He drifts a little bit wide. Is that going to jeopardise him going down into turn 1? I want to jump forward because the leaders are also nose to tail practically with Dan Hunt, Newman, Hefford and Ayres. You see in the background it is Griffiths in there. It is also Dennison. It is also Owens. Dennison's looking up the inside of 1. Griffiths looks to cover him off. Oh, Dan, hold it on there as well on the exit. Can he hold it on? He can, but now Miles Owens is on the attack. Surely they're not going to try too wide through the snake. Oh, they are.
Owens is going for it. He's going to get the inside run. That's a great bit of tactical manoeuvring from Miles Owens, but Dennison back up the inside. He could be very close to the left rear of Owens, who finally gets the move completed. As all we've had. Oh, Hefford's off! Hefford's off!
Where did he go? Oh no, that's coming up through the snake, isn't it? Oh.
He's had a little bit of a touch with. I think he just had a little bit of a love tap between his front bumper and the rear of Pete Newman's, and that just sent him spinning a little bit. But he managed to gather it up. But he's now behind Chagnon, who's run wide out of Degner 2. And again, we're seeing a bit of a repeat of what we saw in race 2, that Griffiths was behind the lead battle, and then they started all battling between themselves, and then Griffiths closed in by an absolute mile and a half.
Yeah, it did. Now Hunt is going to have Newman behind. Griffiths is 3.6 coming down below 1 to Jamie Ayres now, just in the back. No, it is still 3.7. Sorry, Jamie Ayres closing in on Newman. Excuse me, I'll get that right in a minute. As Newman going after Dan Hunt. It's going to be a battle of the big boys. It's going to be Hunt. It's going to be Newman down the backstretch. Under the bridge they go, coming into 130R, the left-hander. Newman's surely just got to let it drift a little bit. He's got to try and hold as much speed as he can. He does do that. Neither man touches the brakes. They stay away from the curb. Jamie Ayres takes a little bit coming into the Casio triangle. He makes it through. What's going on further back? Tom Griffiths, Owens has got past Dennison, Cullinan's in there, Wright's in there. Then we've got Hefford, Van Gaal, Arnold Chagnon, Mick Barry's only a second back behind all of these guys, and then Steve Hansford and Colin Sanson are having their own little battle through 130R. They were side by side at one point, and I've got a funny feeling this is how this one paid out. Did Sanson run the outside of 130R? Oh, he did. You brave boy.
Stones and then some for the number 24 from year 1. Oh, no, there was a bit of a touch between them as well. So they both had an off-track as a direct result of it. But Sansom had already made the move complete heading into 130R. But Ayres has now closed in on Newman. So gap between the top 3 going into first corner is less than 7/10 of a second. Ayres goes a bit curb happy through the exit and closes that gap between himself and Newman to just over 3/10 of a second at some point. I think coming out of that part, Ayres was less than 3/10, but as we all know, folks, with the timing tower, it does fluctuate like a pendulum.
It does, yeah, that's the problem. It's not completely on point every single time. It needs sort of literally a split second to catch up here. As Jamie Ayres is going into the hairpin, the left-hander. Is he going to hold on? He is. He keeps the car nice and pointy. What's going on with PBG? On the inside is our Momo teammate here on the left-hand side. There he is in the yellow wheels and yellow roll bar. PBG. Oh! Don't take out your teammate! Ah! Squeeze in,
Of all the places to keep it pinned like that with 2 wheels on the grass through 200R, that's a move you don't see very often.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see that at all. And if you do see it in officials, one of them would have ended up in the gravel, if not the wall. But they're still going side by side, these guys, to come down the backstretch. Who's going to get the draft out of Darrell Wright? Is it going to be Hefford? Is it going to be Van Gaal? Darrell Wright slowly giving it to PBG. PBG's going to get a little bit as they come down the backstretch. These guys from Momo running side by side. PBG's on the outside. There's a curb out on there. There's a blimey, Chagnon coming into it. Now into Casio they go. They have settled down. 2 men up front, 3 men up front have not settled down. 3 wide going down into turn 1.
Hunt on the inside, Ayres in the middle, Newman to the outside. Ayres takes the race lead by about 3/100ths of a second, but Hunt's going to have the inside line. Ayres, is he going to go around the outside? He does, but through the second half, Hunt is right up the inside and gets sideways and nearly checks up Newman. Hunt goes off the circuit. Newman's going to get second unless Hunt holds on to it, and he does for literally about 2 seconds. So that's a change for the race lead. Ayres now leading the way with 4 minutes and 45 to go. Newman in second, Hunt in third.
That 3.7 second gap to Griffiths is not 3.7 seconds anymore. It is literally come down. You can see Griffiths pulled out 1.2 seconds over the last 2 laps. So this is going to get very, very spicy. And are we going to see Griffiths come through once again like he has done for the last 2 races? Charles Kellerman, HGI, JPB, hi JPB, hi sorry, hi Charles there. There was a G in the middle. Couldn't quite work out what that was for there. But as we go on once more, 4 minutes on the clock, Alex. It's going to be about another 2 laps to go.
Yeah, including this one. But Also, along with this, Griffiths is bringing along Miles Owens for the ride as well. And then you've got Dennison. Then you've got Cullinan. So that quartet covered by just around 1.3 seconds. So these three scrapping away, they are going to hemorrhage time. And, I mean, Jamie Ayres last time around did a personal best, a mid 23.7, but Newman is looking again, this time through on the back stretch down to 130R, and he noses ahead going into the inside.
Yeah, Mick Barry's looked like he's had a moment. Brown 130R, Newman's now taking that lead. Ayres is not giving it up. Newman takes to the inside of Casio. You can see the group closing behind like, well, they're just like a pack of lions over the Gazelles up front, down to 2.9 seconds. Don't forget that gap was down, I think it was out of 3.7 or 4.2 or something like that, wasn't it, at one point? And now it is down. There they all are. There's 2, 4, 6, 8 cars in the background. Closing down. Ayres is trying to go through the middle. He's coming through the middle. Hunt's come through the middle, sorry. Ayres backed out. Newman's taken the lead now. Now it's down to 2.6. Oh, my dearie me. 2 laps on the clock, Alex. How is this one going to turn out?
And they've got Sampson up ahead, so backmarker could play into this. Gap now to less than 2.5 seconds. As I said, Griffiths and Owens and everybody else behind. Well, Griffiths and Owens have again gapped Cullinan, who got past Dennison in the meantime. So, just quickly, briefly going into shot was Martin Sampson in the 136 optical green car. But yeah, I mean, Ayres now could line up a move into the first Degner on Hunt, but he hits, if you can see the brake lights quickly going on. Decided discretion was the better part of valour, not to chance it at that point on the circuit, because he knew that if he tried to lunge up the inside, that could have been all she wrote for both Ayres and Hunt, and Griffiths and Owens would have been up into second and third, as Dennison trying to close back in on Cullinan heading into the hairpin. Yeah,
it was quite funny coming out of Degner 1, because Dennison was trying to stick his nose out. You could see him, it was kind of like a peekaboo moment. He was like, peekaboo, peekaboo, I'm here. You know, it just didn't quite make it through. Did Dan Dennison there, unfortunately for him. But he's still going to have a go. 2.5 now to Jamie Ayres from Griffiths. It's come down 4 tenths since the last lap. Oh, Newman, I don't know where he went, but wherever he went, he came back very quickly. So a little bit of a mission for Newman as they're coming down the backstretch through 130R. This is where the draft's going to play. Now we've got 2.3 to the 2 cars behind. 1.7 to Cullinan, Dennison and Van Gaal. Wright and Hefford in there. Littler and Barry scrapping it out further back. They're coming, Alex, but are they going to have enough to come over the final lap? That's the question.
At this point, I'd probably say that's a resounding no in my book, but with 2.8 seconds behind between Ayres and Griffiths, expect that to close, because we are going to go onto the white flag lap. It's still the 118 of Newman from Pure Sims that leads the way. What do the pair of Hunt and Ayres have in the tank? That gap looks to be coming down ever so slightly between Ayres and Griffiths. Hunt looking to the outside of Newman. Where's Ayres going to go? He's going to slot in behind the number 7 as Hunt goes high, wide and handsome around the outside. A little bit of a hip check between fenders, and Newman still holds on, but into the next left-hander. Hunt might have the run on him, which he does. Gets through, but it's not quite complete. Into the right-hander. Newman back in the race lead by about the length of the front wings on the cars. But look, this could nearly be a 3-wide moment. Ayres hangs back. Looks up the inside of Hunt. This is cat and mouse right now for this race win.
This isn't even chess. They haven't even placed the cars to try and make it to the end. They're just going for it. Every little gap they're going for. Hunt and Newman side by side through Degner 1. Newman, surely one of them's got to be in the... Oh my gee, I thought one of them was in the gravel. And none of them ended up in the gravel. That was exceptional driving. 2.1. Surely Griffiths is not going to pull 2 seconds over the last half of this lap.
No, he won't pull 2 seconds, but it'll be more a case of the 3 squabbling in front of him. That'll be the deciding factor as they're going to go through into 200R on the run down to Spoon Curve. Gap's now gone a little bit up now, close to, well, it's 2.3 seconds between Ayres and Griffiths, but still with just over 0.3 of a second separating them. Hunt goes towards the outside to try and get the crisscross here into Spoon Curve. Now, is he going to make that work? Looked like Ayres had a good run of momentum. Gap now down to 2 seconds as they come out of Spoon for the final time. Down the back stretch. This is like saying pick a card and choose your winner, because it's not going to be easy to do so.
Yeah, no, you're right. And it isn't, because the draft's going to come into play for Ayres. Through 130R, the left-hander. Hunt's on the inside. And Newman's giving him bucket loads of room. It's now going to be side by side into Casio. Newman's going to do it. Newman's going to take the one line. Hunt's nearly lost it again on the final corner. But I think it's going to be Newman. I think it is going to be Pete Newman. He's going to take the victory here in the race 3. Newman does take the win. Hunt in second. Griffiths 1.3 in the end. What about the AMs? Well, it's Darrell Wright. He needs to lock up the inside. Oh, he does get across there. Takes the victory over Arnaud Chagnon. 1.3 for Griffiths. That was insane pullback of time, and it makes you wonder if he hadn't been held up. Look at that. Look at that. Every lap it pulled a chunk out of the people in front.
Yeah, especially the last one as well, a 2:23.861. PVG actually got the fastest lap of the race. The first person closest of anybody tonight that has nearly done a 2:29. He did a 2:23.087. But yeah, as I said, it was the squabbling at the front that allowed Griffiths with that clear air. And that's quite crucial here at Suzuka. If you've got clear air and you've got 3-4 cars battling in front of you, it can always be the case that the person 2 to 3 seconds back will always close in handsomely.
Yeah, we've got Newman, we've got Hunt, we've got Ayres. That's your 1, 2, 3. Then you got Tom Griffiths in 4th, Miles Owens 5th, Steve Hefford in 6th, Ralph Cullen in 7th, PVG in 8th. Darrell Wright takes the win in the AMS. That's his first win this evening in the AMS, with Arnaud Chagnon in 2nd. Daniel Dennison down in 11th. Then you got Andy Littler in the 3rd and final podium place of the AMS. Mick Barry, Colin Sansom, Steve Hansford, Martin Sampson, Fiona Siddons, Craig Jones, who did not last very long, and Darragh McLean, who we believe has not taken to the grid this time around. And, well, race 4... I dread to think how race 4 is going to go, to be honest. So, what do we reckon? How's race 4 going to go, do we think?
Well, there's one driver that neither of us have selected so far. Well, there's a couple of drivers that we haven't selected this evening, respectively. I'm going to go with Dan Hunt on this one. Because he's been there or thereabouts, but he hasn't taken a W. I mean, we've had 2 different winners so far. So Griffiths in race 1 and race 2. Newman by the skin of the paint on the rear bumper on that one. So could we have 3 different winners from 4 different races? I'm hoping so. So I'm going to go with Dan Hunt, mate.
Okay, I'm going with Steve Hefford. He's been there or thereabouts. Mr. Reliable coming into race 4. Every time I speak to Steve, if we have a chat with him, he generally tells me race 4 is just all about keeping it on track and making sure that he doesn't go wrong, and he scores points, and he knows he's got to score points in all 4, and he tries to do that as well. And if he can pick off one win, I reckon he's going to be in race 4 very, very shortly.
Yeah, and I think he also needs a little bit of lady luck on his side as well. And that's what we've seen around this circuit. People will say, yeah, well, it's all about carrying momentum through and this, that, the other. Yeah, but that little bit of lady luck, when you know it's going to be close at the front end of the field, and if you're in the ringside seat, you've got the opportunity to take that away from everybody that's in front of you. And you'll be going, yeah, I won that one. Yeah, because we came together. Yeah, a win's still a win.
Well, look at Miles Owens. He grabbed 3rd place in the race, didn't he, in race 2? Partly because Hunt had a moment. And then, who was it? It wasn't Ayres. It was Newman had a moment. So you've got to be there to score points, right? As Al Gorey, that was great, he said at the end of that one. Charles, who's not racing because he's getting used to his new rig, apparently.
Go off.
Yeah, but if it's the same steering wheel, the same pedals, what's the difference? Is it motion simulated, Charles? Is that the problem?
Well, I think it's also when you get a new rig, you've got to get a bit, you've got to get used to it, and you've got to break in the seat as well. So if the Sims come with a new seat, or whether he's not feeling comfortable enough to warrant coming in, maybe just to get a little bit of wheel time, and just sort of see how it feels, adjust it to the right position for him. That could probably be the reason why he's just thought, I ain't going to chance it tonight. So we could see him for round 2 next time at Silverstone.
I think that's just a wussy way. BR to triples. Oh, triples is easy. You just sit in the car and put them all on your middle screen and away you go, Charles. Stop it. I'm hearing a list of excuses at the moment, I tell you.
The black book of UK SimRacers excuses for this has just officially been opened.
Yeah, I went from BR James into triples. So I went from triples to single, and I'm still amazing as I won my truck race earlier on as well. I'm not going to lie. However, I did try and do 150 laps of a truck race at Bristol, and I ended up getting DQ'd because the cars behind didn't realise that a yellow flag means slow down 4 times. So, yeah. To be honest, we were on lap 36, and I think we were on 7 cautions. It was going to take us absolutely ages to get through that one. But that's a NASCAR story. We don't want a NASCAR story. We want an MX5 story, and we're going to have an MX5 grid for race 4, and it's going to be Chagnon, Wright, Van Gogh, Cullinan, Steve Hefford, Owens, Griffiths, Ayres, Hunt, Newman, and then you've got Dennison and Andy Littler just outside that top 10 reverse. Mick Bowery, Colin Sansom, Steve Hansford, Martin Sampson, Fiona Siddons, Craig Jones, and Darren McLean. Is he here? He is here, as I thought he wasn't going to make it to the grid. Hopefully Craig will go a little bit longer. I think he's done a combined about 5 laps over the last 2 races. So let's hope he gets a little bit longer here as we're going to be on the start. Just waiting for Dennison to join back in. So there we go. Not as easy as VR. Charles, what is going on with your typing? I feel like I need a translator. Right, here we go. Lights are going to be coming on very, very shortly. It's 5 lights. We are going to be up and running. Chagnon is going to try and bolt. Darrell Wright did not get a good start. He's going to get swamped by PVG right at the beginning. Then Ralph Cullinan's going to have a go. But it is Arnold Chagnon taking the hold shot here down into turn 1. Pete Van Gogh in second. Darrell Wright third. Ralph Cullinan, Steve Bedford, Miles Owens. Everybody behind that coming in. Are they all going to make it through? I think they are. Even Craig Jones has done a little bit more than he did in race 3, sorry.
Yeah, and that was a quick exit for the number 29. But yeah, they're nearly... oh, dearie me, that's nearly 3 wide coming through the final part of the snake, but we've had a drama.
Steve Hefford. Mate, you're my pick. Where you going? Not that I'm competitive or anything.
We need a bleep button just in case.
Oh, Chagnon!
Oh, Chagnon's lost it. Dearie me.
Oh, he's off to the beach. Where are you going? Stay there. Stay there. Good boy. Wait.
It's like telling the dog to hit. It's like, stay there.
Oh, no.
Bed.
Yep. No, Arnold Chagnon. No. There we go.
Dennison's had a drama and he's in the pits in the 116.
He went off, come back. Oh no, he's already gone at that point. Oh, was this at the end of the Steve Hefford moment? That's going to be the question. There's Jamie Ayres in front. What does he do? Oh, back end
he just lost it.
Yeah, back end got loose.
It looked like he might have just did a bit too much excess throttle modulation coming out of that part of the complex. But, well, we've got a little bit of a ding-dong battle between the likes of Owens, Hunt, Newman. Cullinan's going for the race lead on PVG, and they swap paints.
Oh, yourself, you whiskey-fueled monster. As he's driving here for the Results Clothing iRacing team. Takes the lead into Casio Triangle. Down the backstretch, he got the job done. Dan Hunt's trying to make moves on the inside. That's Miles Owens on the outside with Pete Newman. Now Jamie Ayres is there and Andy Littler running side by side. Colin Sanson into the pit lane. That's one way of doing it.
Oh, dearie me. I haven't seen that in a while.
No. What do? He's just, sit, wait, off you go. But PVG's got past Ralph Cullinan once more. And now Ralph has taken the lead. PVG has taken the lead here again.
Yeah, it just, again, it's about that precise nature of the first corner. You know, you run deep. We've seen that quite a few times over the previous 3 races out of 4 here tonight, James. And look at the scramble behind. I mean, between 1st to 7th, that's PVG, Cullinan, Wright, Griffiths, Hunt, Newman and Owens. They are covered by less than 2.5 seconds. This is going to be even feistier than the 3 races we've had previously.
Yeah, it definitely is. Race 4 is always spicy. It gets hotter than a Vindaloo. Does race 4 at times, and now we're going to have 7 cars going forward and battling away. Craig Jones is still there. However, he's at the back. Oh, he went off track. Oh, poor old Craig. We won't impound his misery any longer. He's just not had a good night all in all, has he, really?
No. Steve Hefford has now made it past Hansford, who's actually dropped behind Sean Onyé, who was leading for about half a lap and then decided to go to the local beach here in the local prefecture here at Suzuka, which Hansford is off track and not moving, I think.
Yeah, I think Steve Hansford had a bit of a moment back here. He's had to jump to the pits. It just goes to show. Oh no. That didn't go well for Steve Hansford. Didn't look good. I wanted to pick up because just as I went away, Tom Griffiths was going side by side with Darrell Wright. Wright's on the right. Hunt's on. Oh, Hunt! Oh, Hunt! Oh, Hunt!
And Newman's car is an absolute state. Hunt is not going any further. He's lost his front bumper. Right front suspension is absolutely cream crackered. Newman's car is an absolute mess. And Griffiths was, well, I think that was Griffiths' car. We're going to see it going through into 130R. So there's contact. Oh, slightest touch, and yeah, bang, straight away. It was like a Murder She Wrote scene on Who Did It.
Did you see the snap from Dan's car? Watch this. Bang, grips in. Oh. He was trying to save it, and then it gripped.
Yeah.
Look at the pit lane.
The thing was, did you notice that Griffiths' back end was out slightly as well, trying to go up the inside? So it might have been 2 + 2 equals ouch, 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 and that equals 4.
What went on down here? How did they have a moment?
Was that Fiona Siddons we were riding on board with? Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
oh dear!
Oh, Steve! Did Sean Onyé wiggle his way through? He did.
Yes, he did.
Oh, my dearie me.
Mazda MX5 and Pinball Wizardry all in spades. So we're going to actually have a ride on board with Steve Hefford. There's the contact, and then bang! Got absolute. He kept it right. Steve Hefford did exactly what he needed to do, but it was just like the confines of the circuit down the backstretch are so small. You have 2 cars pinballing off to the left. The instinctive momentum of the cars is going to be, oh, I'm hitting the barriers, I'm going right, and bang, Steve had nowhere to go. And we've got 5 drivers in the pits. We've got Dan Hunt's out back out on the circuit. So is Fiona Siddons. So Hefford's now out of the pit lane. Pete Newman, Steve Hansford, Darren McLean. Well, Daniel Dennison's race was literally abruptly halted within next to nothing on that opening lap. So you said about the fact that this race was going to be spicier than a Vindaloo. We'll add another 2 Vindaloos, and you've got probably the heat of a chicken fowl, which is actually one of the hottest curries you can get in the United Kingdom, and that is no picnic.
And I'd like to point out, Hefford, Hunt, Newman, McLean, Siddons are done. They're not just out of the pits. They are out. They are off to the medical centre. Into the shower they go for the evening. And unfortunately for them 3, as them 5, they've all had to tow. And the problem is when you tow, you haven't got a fast repair here. They're not wusses in the UK SimRacers. You don't need fast repairs. You just go at it until your car breaks. And I can guarantee that repair time was horrendous for all 5 of them. Steve Hansford, I think, is hanging on for dear life to try and hope that he can get back out. But at the moment, PVG leading away from Ralph Cullinan, leading away from Miles Owens, and my pick for race 4 is a DNF and a 0 points, and I'm going to be in trouble.
Well, that makes 2 of us, because mine's out as well. I went with Dan Hunt, didn't I?
Oh, well, we're both DNF. That's it. I don't feel so bad now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. If it's good for me, it's good for you, mate. That's all it is. Coming into the hairpin.
In for a penny, in for a pound, as they say.
Sharing is caring. Right. Let's see.
Goodwill to all.
Yeah. Has Craig Jones survived all of this, has he? Because I'm sure he's still... There he is. Go on, Craig, in Degner 1, with Mick Barry closing up fast behind him. But it is these front 3... Maybe just all right if he can hang on a little bit.
Yeah, it just depends if someone has a bit of a faux pas in front, as we are now seeing the headlights on these Mazda MX5s now lit here at Suzuka. So we are heading in towards, as you can see, the service time just after 7 PM. But yeah, I think it's always good with race 4. I mean, like I said, with the last race at Roscogan, we actually had quite a few dramas in race 4, and that's one of the good things about this series, is that you have a traditional, race 1 with the qualifying, and then Miles Owens getting a little bit tail happy, trying to apply the power through the first part of the Casio triangle, loses a bit of time to Cullinan.
Yeah.
But Wright is starting to close a little bit, and look how close these drivers are keeping to the inside wall on the right hand side, and PVG instantly pulls to the left. He can only do that move once really to try and break the toe, but Cullinan, Owens and Wright were very quick and very wise to react to it with 5 minutes on the timing to go, buddy.
Yeah, they're trying to follow him, aren't they, to make sure they stay with him. So they've got to be in that area to get the draft, and Owens is definitely getting it. Cullinan's teetering half a second mark. I think it's round about the 6.5 temps. It starts bringing him in. So if for Cullinan, he needs to stay within that area if he can. Wright is on the edge. He's getting a poof from Owens, but he's not getting a big old poof puff. Come on, son. Because Owens is quite just opening up the gap, but Ayres is not getting away. Cullinan, I do love Jamie Ayres taking that's PVG at the front, not even Jamie Ayres, sorry. That's PVG taking through Degner 1 there. Why did I think it was Jamie Ayres?
Well, move on for second. Miles Owens nosing ahead into the hairpin on Cullinan, but Cullinan's going to get back at him. Runs the SimRace Sweden eSports car a little bit wide, but Owens is going to try and thread the eye of the needle through here at 200R, and he is fractionally ahead. But again, this is going to open up the inside for Ralph Cullinan, but Owens gets the move completed. Well done.
Miles Owens making it through, but for how long? Because they've got through Spoon, and now they've got the backstretch. Is he going to be able to make it down this backstretch? Jamie Ayres is opening up a second. That draft is not helping. You can see the other two. PVG. Oh, for God blimey. PVG up the front with Cullinan and Wright, who are going to be drafting Owens. Owens is not getting a lot. You can see he's teetering on about 8.5 temps, and he's just getting a little bit of a pull. Nothing major. Can PVG take the victory this time around, as they're going to have one more?
Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting to see how the trio behind him actually react. I mean, if Owens keeps it nice and... Oh, he loses out. Owens just nearly dropped it through the second half of the Casio triangle, and that nearly opened both barn doors for Ralph Cullinan, who's got the slipstream on and going down the start-finish straight into T1. So Owens, I think at that point, with that mistake, has just cost him any opportunity, because the gap now is over 1.2 seconds. That's cost Miles Owens the win, possibly.
I think you're right. Unless something goes drastically wrong with PVG, I think Owens is just dropped that himself. Darrell Wright's dropped him back. Wright is there. You see coming through the snake. But the Irishman of Cullinan is having a good old go at the moment. As you can see, the SimRace Sweden, Miles Owens in front of us. Round through anti-banked into Dunlop. Stay off the curb on the outside. We've seen that claim victims. Now they're going on the run round Dunlop, coming into Degner 1. But looking on the left-hand side, there's a little marker on the 50 mark. Hit the brake, get it in over the curb, get it rotated. Now they've got to drop into the ditch. If they miss the ditch, it's going to be hard. There you go. Both men hit it. Both men run where they should be. And 1:49 on the clock, Alex. They're coming into the hairpin. Can Cullinan clear Miles Owens going into Casio?
Yeah, you've also got to look at it from this perspective, that he's got Darrell Wright in the number 84, which is his teammate, let's not forget, from Result Clothing iRacing team. So they could be looking at a good points haul, and the first thing that we don't want to see is teammates taking each other out, and that's what teams don't want to see. So I think they might just decide to do what they can. If Cullinan could get the run on Owens on this final lap, which we have seen before, but Owens is now starting to close on in to PVG. The gap was at its highest, 1.2. It's now under 8 tenths.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to have enough. I don't think he's going to have enough for that final lap. I think PVG is going to hold on to it. Through 130R they go. No lifting here into Casio for what will be the penultimate time under the Advan Bridge. Into Triangle they go. Owens has got a nice clean run. He's pulled a 10th out just through that little bit. Can he go down? They're slowly dropping off the Irishman now. Down here we've got Chagnon, who has got Andy Littler in front of him. Chagnon is going to go to the left. He's going to try and go around the outside at Casio. Is he going to make it through? Littler's got to leave him a little bit of room on the exit. He does do. Now he's coming through the final corner. Littler gets the run, and Littler still takes the position. But look at Owens and Van Gogh. It's 1/10.
Yeah, Owens I think might have just managed to claw it up through the snake section. Well, they're going through the first corner, so he would have got a little bit of a carrier slipstream. But then as we go into the snake complex and into anti-banked, PVG has now opened that gap up to the best part of 6-7 tenths of a second at its highest. So Owens really has got to put together a pretty good second half of the lap from the hairpin onwards.
Yeah. Going to have to try and stay close as he can. He knows he needs a good run through Degner 1 over PVG. PVG hooks up that inside. He gets the rotation, not as much as Owens. So Owens got a pretty good run, but is he going to be able to close anything? That's going to be the question. We've got Ayres having a little bit of a ding-dong with Littler. Their side by side is Ayres as they're coming into Degner 1. Hopefully both men are making it through. They are. Jamie Ayres in over the... I thought it was contact. But let's pick up on these guys as they're going into Spoon for the final time here, Alex.
Yeah, it's about what Owens does now, because if he gets the run through 130R, is he going to be a little bit later on the brakes? Well, the one of the cars in front, I think that was... I'm not too sure who that was.
I think that was Dennison. Yeah, Dennison.
Dennison is 2 laps down, but this is where the slipstream is going to come into prominence for Miles Owens. 3 tenths is the gap. Now the closing rate starts to bring itself into prominence. So it's going to be down to the Casio triangle and the run out of it, because we saw Miles Owens doing a great job. Gap now 1.5 tenths as they head into the Casio triangle for the final time.
Yeah, they've got PVG in front. Owens behind. It's going to be the straight sprint to the line. Owens is going to try the inside. He's running the grass. Who's going to get it? Is it going to be Owens? Is it going to be PVG? Oh, it's PVG. Oh, my dearie giddy me by 0.008 of a second, Alex. That couldn't have been any closer, even if we wanted it to.
Good try there by Miles Owens as we take a look at the replay. Owens just teed PVG up. And you can see here, tighter on the apex through the first part of the Casio triangle. Then gets the overspeed. And you can see that he got a better carry than PVG. He was 2 wheels on the grass, nearly collecting the tyre barriers. And that was how close it was. It was probably the trims on the front bumper, but that's 3 different winners from 4 different races. Miles Owens, literally, it was the paint on the front bumper that decided it.
Absolutely. You cannot get any closer to that with Miles Owens, I think, with PVG. He gave it a right, proper, good old go, didn't he? He didn't stop. He didn't give up. He wanted to try and make it through. And now we're going to pick them both up coming over the line. And this is just about as close as you're ever going to get on a finish. Right about, that's where they're at the moment. And now look at this. It is coming down to the line. It is just incredibly close. Run, 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 run. And look at that. That is just insane how close that was going over the line from them two. Right. Let's wait for the results to come through from the 4th and final race of the evening. And PVG is your winner by 0.004 than it was before, with Ralph Cullen and Darrell Wright and Martin Sampson in 5th. Darrell Wright taking another victory in the AMS. A great job from him. That's 2 out of the 4 today. So well done to Darrell Wright, and a great job from Ralph Cullinan, who I believe just took his first podium of the evening. Sean Onyea taking 2nd in the AMS and 6th overall, with Ayres and Littler finishing off the podium for the AMS. And you've got Mick Barry, Tom Griffiths, Colin Sansom, Craig Jones, Daniel Dennison, Dan Hunt, Pete Newman, Darren McLean, Steve Hefford and Steve Hansford. And then Fiona Siddons on further back from that one. We have got a couple of people to have a chat with, as we'll have a little bit of a chinwag with the man who was involved so ceremoniously in that run down to the line. He took to the grass. He almost made it through. Miles Owens, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
Hi, mate. You all right?
I'm not bad, mate. How are you?
Yeah, great. I'm soaking after that. I was chasing him down, and then last corner, I saw my opportunity and I went for it, and I was just short, wasn't I?
Yeah, I don't know how short you were, mate. Whatever 0.004 translates into distance.
Oh, I need that. We need that finish line a little bit longer down the road, and I might have got it.
Yeah, if they put the finishing line, but they've got the start line, that would be easier, right?
Yeah, it would be, yeah.
Definitely.
I would have had him then.
You would have had him, mate. Yeah, it would have been the other way around, but you would have had him. Listen, though, 2 podiums for you. Got a little bit lucky in race 2.
Yeah, I was just telling PVG about that. I mean, a lot of incidents happened in front of me, but it's just I had one of them nights. I just missed them all. So, yeah.
And we've just watched you miss the Dan Hunt, Tom Griffiths, Pete Newman incident in race 4.
What was it? I think it was race 2 or in the kink. I can't remember the name of it. R9 or something. And
yeah.
And then Darrell Wright and Tom collected each other, and I just missed them as well. So that was a brown trouser moment.
Lady Luck was on your side this evening, young sir.
It was, sir. It was. That's it. Bit of luck.
Yeah, you can't help a bit of luck. Going to be very interesting this season with the scoring. A lot of us, don't get me wrong, a lot simpler than what it ever has been, right? Because we haven't got all fancy shandangled spreadsheets going on and bonus points being thrown around all over the place. But what is it meaning for the drivers? Because you've got to now do a lot of it on positions. Because iRacing don't necessarily cover all the other fancy jazz that used to be on the old one.
I'm not really paying any attention to that yet. It's a bit early, just get my head down, try and get the results in, and then let's see where we are 3/4 the way through the season, eh?
Yeah, all right, mate. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. I'm boring, huh?
Well, yeah, you've taken one of my stories and dramatic moments and just went, yeah, don't care, not looking at the moment. All right, mate. No worries, Evan. Yeah. Cheers for jumping in there, fella. Yeah. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
To the community, always great racing with these boys. They're great lads, and teammate, my team, SimRacers Freedom, for putting up with me, and all the sponsors, and obviously you guys for putting on a great show.
Thank you very much, Miles. It's been a pleasure, and look forward to catching up with you soon, no doubt, buddy.
All right, try. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Right, now we can have a chat with the man who was also involved in that dramatic race 4 finish. Took the win by 0.004. Taking his first win tonight. Second win, actually. No, first win, if I'm not mistaken. It is your first win. Yeah, there as well. But PVG, welcome in, buddy.
Good evening, lads. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Oh, it was an amazing night of racing. We could have done better, but yeah, I enjoyed it. That's for sure.
Yeah. To be fair, though, you've only taken one podium, and it was a win.
Yeah.
So that's not too bad, right?
No, it's not too bad, but I think race 1 should have been a podium as well. When I got turned by Tom into the hairpin.
Yeah. There was a lot of action down that back straight, to be fair.
Yeah, it's the car has changed a bit, or the time model's changed a bit, so there's crazy amounts of grips on places, and then the toes also really takes into place on this track. But the racing was fun, so that's the main part of it. And getting a win on a podium is just extra.
Yeah, of course it is, but as long as you've enjoyed yourself, that's all that really matters. Yeah. What do we... I've just spoke to Miles Owens about the championship, and he went, it's a bit early. So I was like, okay. So for you, do you have an ambition? Pete, I know you guys have been together for years, right? We've been here now, 3 years. This is our third year, I think, with you guys in general. Do you have, I know you're all friendly and I know you're all lovey and your pals and all that, but do you have an ambition to win the championship and beat everybody around you? Because, you and Steve rubbed doors a couple of times tonight, and I thought the worst thing
I know.
We're going to take each other out.
No, we're going to race. We're not going to be, we're pals, but as you're in the same Discord, it's a bit easier to kind of say where you are, or you take it, or I'm going to take it, or I'm going to overtake you because I got a better exit. But it doesn't mean that you don't have to race each other. It is racing though, and I've won the championship once 2 years ago. I think it was your first season with us.
Yeah,
that I've won it.
It was.
So, do I want to prolong it or get it again? Yes, I would like to, but key is to finish all races. That's one thing, because if you get drop scores or lose a night, then the championship is not in the bag anymore. I think I'm capable of winning the championship because I'm up there at the front, but we got some really good races then. We got new drivers like Daniel. He's kind of finding his way on the grid, see where he fits in. But it's good to be back with all these amazing drivers, and it's going to take about 2 races for everyone to kind of fit in and see who's who and does what. So as long as we can put up a good show, it's going to be all right.
Yeah, there's still more to come, I think, as well. I don't think everybody was here that is registered to race. So I think there's still a few more to join in. So that could be an interesting one as well. But it's been a pleasure watching you this evening, dear sir. I will apologise. If you watch the broadcast back, just ignore me in race 4. I may have got your name wrong, but don't...
My name wrong?
Yeah,
my word.
I had a moment of calling you Jamie Ayres. Don't even ask.
Oh, that's all right, though.
Yeah, he's quick.
He's a handsome lad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It could have been Craig Jones. That would have been even worse, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd been worse.
Worse.
Yeah, would have been offended. Yeah, would have been offended, definitely. Got more hair than Craig.
Mate, everybody's got more egg than Craig, to be honest.
Yeah,
But
it's
there
easy.
you go, buddy. Been a pleasure as always. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Oh, well, some of my family's watching, so thank you for watching, and kudos to you again for an amazing broadcast and all the guys on track. So I hope to see you next week.
Oh, man. Well, take care, buddy, and we'll see you then.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I do love it when they come in for a chat, and they're all fairly jolly. I do love a good Miles Owens. He's always happy and jolly when he comes in as well, Alex. But I think we've got to admit that was just four races of just epic.
And there's still more to come, folks. There's still plenty of races on the UK SimRacers Season 2 spring season, first of the Tri-Championship. But you know what? Folks, if you're at a loose end and you want to watch more racing action, well, you can catch up with what's actually going on right now, because we've got another broadcast. We've got the Prospects E-Racing League Tier 1 Round 4 at Zandvoort. Then we've got BSC Spring Season Round 5 at Bristol. Tier 2 of Prospects tomorrow night. Radicals join us on the 14th. Season 2 of 2024, Round 1 at Laguna Seca. And then the season finale of Season 3, Zolder for the JPB TCR Euro Sprint Cup. iFormula League Super Formula for what will be, I think, Red Bull Ring on Saturday. Sunday will be the iFormula League F3 Series, which I think... which will still be using the F3. And then it's Round 1, Road America, Season 2 of 2024 for IGP Fun Super Formula Lights, even though it's still showing Formula 3. But that really, I mean, 4 cracking races around a great racetrack. And then we go to the home of British Motorsport in a week's time for Round 2. I can't wait, mate.
No, it's going to be absolutely amazing there as well. So thank you so much to everybody that's joined us. The list is growing every single week, and I started off being able to read names out, and now I just say to everyone, because you've all been absolutely amazing. But that's it. That's going to round it off. Join me for later for the BSC Round 5. They're at Bristol. I've done some races in Bristol. It's very, very interesting. If you like your NASCAR, it goes off at 11:50. We're an hour earlier tonight due to the fact of the wonderful Eastern time zone has gone forward. So we've changed to a little bit earlier on. So if you're a little bit of a night owl, come and watch that, because that will be absolutely amazing. But for now, guys.
Nick to then.
I've been James Marvett. I've been alongside Alex Goldschmidt. And as always, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.